Okay, it's recording. Hi, welcome to Willie's Web, where everyone has a story. And my name is Willie Wideman-Pleasants, and I'm an author and poet and your host. We have a fantastic author on our show today. Her name is Susan Drayton. This is her children's book, and we'll be talking to her today. Hi, Susan, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. And yourself?
Good, good. You know, with the Zoom and things, we got to do what we got to do.
Yes, we're doing it. We're flowing.
So tell us about you and how did you come about doing this book?
Well, as a child, I had the natural blessing of the arts, meaning to draw, sketch, paint. It came to me naturally. Obviously, I needed fine-tuning, and that didn't happen till later on in my adult journey of adulthood. And so I attend Susan Cabral's art studio, who is also a native of South Dartmouth, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been now with her for quite some time, and she's been my mentor. And a lot of things in my life was changing. A lot of things needed to go to make room for the new. I've always wanted to do something with my art, but it wasn't like just to paint and just have it painted. I wanted to bring a healing property to it. I want someone to look at it and can honestly see themselves connecting, whether it be with that sketch, that painting. I knew somewhere within me that books would be a part of my life. I just really didn't think that it would be manifested into the physical form. I just thought it was just a dream. But as you obviously know, we're here, we're talking, and I love it. You know, I'm a woman of faith, and I do believe that this is part of my purpose, is to heal through my artwork and my writing. My writing is something very, very new. I don't feel at all that I am an outstanding professional author. I write based on emotions that I feel and perspectives, and obviously doing research. The book came out April 4th, 2017 to the public. Before then, it took me 3 years because I decided to do it through the medium of using colored pencil. And through that journey, colored pencils somehow mysteriously was very little and hardly to be seen, found, and purchased, because they decided to create a wonderful thing called coloring books for adults. So it took me a little long. Yes, I do. I do love it. Hey, whatever brings joy to people, that's what I love. So, and it takes a lot of time, because you're using a medium that takes a lot of layering. It will also need time to bleed through because it's a different kind of format. So you got to get the lights, the hues and values, and I call it a lasagna that is continually being layered and layered and layered. So that's my way, my version, my metaphor. But I have and had so much fun with that book, because like I said, during that time in my life, a lot of things were changing that needed to be changed. It actually healed me. It gave me an escape to a wonder. It also, it helped too that I connected back to Mother Earth, going for my walks, my hikes. And I took it there. You know, wow, what is it like, you know, to be a fairy, and just looking at the roots of the trees and just being lost for 3 miles and just being in that creative state, that it it just fueled my soul, my creativity, my thoughts even more so. So yeah, blessed I am.
Do you feel like doing this book is helpful? How do you see this helping someone?
Well, the target audience is the elementary level, but if you were to read it, anyone older can identify themselves with the literature aspect of it, because there are hard times in our lives. And how do we go forward? How do we go forward? Sometimes we don't even have the energy, the mentality. We're exhausted due to whatever we create in our lives or life has created to us, it being a curveball, a not so good experience, maybe a lesson. I don't know. It depends how it resonates with one or the other. In my life, I call them lessons, hard knocks. And it's going to resonate with those that is meant to. But how nice is it to start off with children where they're like sponges, they're young, they're carefree. Isn't it nice that there are books out there besides mine that can help a child see something and tune into their emotions and hopefully be able to do it through a perspective that will shed some light on whatever it is that they're going through.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to talk about your life experience now, or, are you at a place where you're comfortable talking about?
Sometimes I'll talk about it. Other times, I'm just like everybody else. I don't want to face it, deal with it. But in order to heal, sometimes you gotta, with something new that I just found out, nothing that I created or came to the conclusion, but I just found out that in order to heal, one must maintain the ego, because the ego likes to pop up and tell us that, no, don't go there because, you're going to get hurt again. Yeah. So it denied you of that healing.
Yes.
The healing is, I will say, a very, very important piece of life. And I don't think it's something that everybody really zones in on and talks about. And growing up, I never really heard that from my parents, that healing is very important emotionally and mentally, because we're so busy with the hustle and bustle of life that we tend to suppress a lot of stuff that should have been dealt with maybe a month ago or years ago.
Right.
I was brought up in a culture that was very strict. And parents that were very strict as well. And it's say what I tell you, and there was
I say, do as I say.
Yeah,
not as I do.
And I've had to come to terms with also with my parents that they weren't bad people. They were just people that only knew what they knew.
Right.
And they did the best that they could.
Yeah.
And many lessons were taught, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning. And forgiving is not easy too. It's not, but it can be done with healing.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of just personal stuff. I went through a divorce. And not knowing what the future was going to look like, because you're reinventing yourself in the sense, who am I now? Who am I? Who am I? Yeah. So the worriness, the anxieties, and, how do I go forward when I don't even see an inclination of light to just illuminate that path that says, okay, take a right, take a left, bank down the middle of the path. It was a rebirth, and it wasn't.
I see it. I definitely see it in the writing. I see it in the story where where he's not sure.
No,
Self is
he's
not
not.
sure.
He's not
He
sure of
has to
himself.
identify what the problems are. And I think for
Yes.
young kids, it's very difficult to
Yes.
identify problems because they're too young to know themselves.
No, in all fairness, I do believe that with children, they do not process things as an adult would.
Absolutely.
I think they process through the energetic level. I'm sad today. I'm angry. I'm happy. I'm excited.
Yes.
But they really can't put it into detail in words because I don't think they're evolved enough intellectually and connecting the emotion with the thought process.
Right.
But I'm not a psychologist. I don't know. Don't know.
Now, when you do, have you done any readings? Sitting down doing any readings with young kids who are your target audience?
I have done it before this whole COVID.
Yeah.
I was going to the local schools in the New Bedford, Dartmouth area. I also was doing a lot of the book signings as well. But now with COVID, this is the new platform, which is fine. It's hey, it's what it is, and it's great. With the Zooming and so going forward.
Right. What was some of the questions that kids ask about when you're what was some of the things that they ask you about the story? Was there anything that came out of
honestly they would share they would share some of their experiences that they had with their friends, somebody who made them feel sad, and they would share it, with the classroom, how they felt at that moment. And I would just ask them what they would do, and just simple stuff. They would either tell somebody that they would talk to somebody that they trust, usually their parents, or they would inform their teachers, but just very simple. It was more that I found it was the energetic level, more of the energetic level, because it was always, it made me feel sad, or I cried, that's what I got out of it with the children.
But it was able to, it gives them an opportunity to express feelings, which is always a good thing with kids.
It is.
Have them feel comfortable about, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to, have these emotions. That's the great part of identifying.
Yes, I feel the importance of everything starts with the emotion, and then you take it from there and say, why is this bothering me? But of course, with some children, depending their age level, they can't go into that depth. Right. But it is true. You must get in tune with your emotions, because I feel that when you do that, you're learning about the self, the you. Who are you in this moment, in this very moment? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? Who do you want to surround yourself with? Who don't you? Where do you want to spread your wings? How far? And you got to do that, I feel, in a constant way. It's a constant way of living, being in tune with those emotions, even the ones that make you very salty.
So what's I had a so how long did it take you to write this book, and how did you find a publisher? Because I know people who are writing books, they kind of want to know how long it took, and was it hard to find a publisher for your book?
Well, like I said, at that point, I was just illustrating. It took me a year to really write it how I wanted it. Even then, it needed to be edited correctly and more fine-tuned. So how I found this publisher, once again, I was just in the land of la la land of creativity, which is wonderful. I went out to a restaurant with a friend of mine, and it was in South Dartmouth, and one of the waitresses actually was talking about mascot books. And I was just like, mascot books, who are they? She goes, well, you should look into them, because I had my book published through them. And there is a few people as well that have a name for themselves, that got their books published through mascots. So I was like, all right, I'll do the mascot thing. Well, that's where intimidation came in for me. And I was just like, oh, my book isn't good enough. Who's going to read my book? Who's really going to want to read my book? You know, because this now is real. This is real now. It went from, you know, the pregnancy, if you will. Now it's coming into the birth. So it's like, I'm kind of scared, you know. Believe it or not, I put it off because I was scared. And I kept on getting a nagging sensation between 1 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was the book. Send it out, send it out, send it out. And I'm like, oh my God, it was disrupting my sleep. Finally, I gave in. I said, okay, here we go. After I've done the research on mascot, then I said, here it goes. I just gave them the information. I gave them a quick blurb. Forgot about it. I just forgot about it because I said, you know what? I just can't. It was just a powerful moment in my journey of this creativity, that it scared me, that I wasn't ready emotionally to face it head on. Well, maybe a few weeks, I want to say, or a month, all of a sudden I get an email and they're interested. And I was just like, oh my God, here we go. So I contacted them. We started talking and, you know, the negotiations, what have you. And here we are with Worthiness. Now I'm working on my second book. It I started that as soon as the Worthiness was published, 2017, which I'm going to give you what the version of what it's like on paper with all the colored pencils. So this is the cover.
Oh, nice.
This is the cover.
Oh, nice.
And this is purely done by pencil, colored pencil, Primza pencil, and it's called The Beauty of Naya, which Naya, this book is different in the sense that it is, I'm pulling it from a different perspective. I'm bringing all nationalities and cultures into it. There's going to be an overwhelming of diversity. Naya is the body of water. The character is water. Her name is Naya, and her name stands for purpose. And as water has its purpose, it sustains life, it nourishes us. And then we have Mr. King, the King Thalassa, which is it's Greek, it's King Thalassa. I hope I'm saying it right. King Thalassus is his name. And it's Greek from, it's called From the Sea. And this is the king in spirit form coming to warn his mermaid kingdom that they don't have too long to live for. And that somehow they need to communicate with the humans, and humans and the mermaid folks need to come together in order to save Naya, but essentially save the world, humanity.
Wow, nice.
And they have to find the key. They
now,
have to find the key.
Is this still a young adult, or is this an adult, or what's your target for this one?
This one's more going into junior high, high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that kind of level. It's really, I'm going further into the depths of my writing with the emotions. So yeah, so this one is about saving the world, saving humanity, saving all of nature's human life, because we are all important and bring value, and we have, I feel, as human beings, we are born with gifts, talents, and treasures, and it's up to us to go inward, even in those moments that we think we can't strive. We can. We just got to be gentle with ourselves, because those gifts, those talents is what's going to make our communities thrive.
Yes. My other question was, where you go from here? I'm like, I hear it. It's like, was a person who, oh my God, I don't know if I should put it out there to, this is wonderful. I can make an impact. I can make a difference with somebody, and also giving back. I think I can see when we learn something, and I see it in you, I have learned how to handle some emotions that I have, how to deal with it, and I want to transcend that information to other people. And because you are such a great artist, that it's easier to do with to put the two together, which is great. Now do you do this, do you think about doing your artwork for other writers? Have you gotten to that level?
I haven't done that. I haven't been approached, but if I was ever approached, depending on what that project is, I'm open to it. I'm very open to it. I'm not going to
put your name on the list.
Thank you. Thank you.
People are always looking for cover artists, and children's book artists always looking for people to do their illustration for them. So I definitely will put your name on the list.
Absolutely, because I'm at the tail end of this. Just the illustrations for the second book has taken me 3 years so far. And now finally I'm like, thank you, God, that I am at the last 2 pages of this, because it was just imagery after imagery. And my communication is through illustration. That is how I communicate mostly, the illustration and the words. And I'm blessed. I'm really blessed that I'm capable of having that gift. But boy, oh boy, did it take a long time for me to own ownership of that part of who I am that I didn't think I could be. But I'll tell you, I always make sure that I am surrounded by people that are solid. I don't like people that wear masks. I like people who are authentic and who they are, and are not afraid to speak the truth of how they see things and how they feel. I can respect that. And it's a level of respect that I do respect. And so surrounding myself with people that are encouraging me and want to see me succeed is another miracle in my life. And that, I will say, I think I've had miracles all along in my life, but because of how things were in different phases and chapters of my life, I was so bombarded with things that took me away from recognizing those miracles. I wouldn't change a thing.
I love your enthusiasm. I love it, the fact that a lot of writers write, but they never publish because they're, and when I could hear it in your voice when you first started talking about your book, how it was my baby, and all of a sudden I gotta let it go. And that's what happens. But once you let it go, it's like you cannot. It's like this. My father always said, if you keep your fist tight, nothing goes in, but nothing comes out. But when you released it and you let all that goodness go out, you got so much that came back to you, and that will continue.
Yes, I had to believe, but I also had to go inward and do a lot of healing. And I had to, and I'm still learning, I still don't have it in a situation where I can say to anybody, I understand how love works. All I know is that in order to receive, you got to give it. You got to have that infinity 8 going. But
Yeah.
in order for that to happen, you have to sustain that moment of the authentic, of investing in that vibration of that quality, humble, pure love. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I've been doing a lot of inside work that is teaching me that, yes, you know, you got to love yourself, because you can't do it. You can't do anything without being confident, solid, grounded, and knowing who you are. If you don't know who you are, how, once you start engaging with other people energetically, just speaking right now, we're engaged in an energetic form.
But
You know,
they'll see your genuineness.
yes.
People say to me, and I didn't really understand how true it was. People
Yeah.
that don't know you really don't buy your books unless they like you. When they come up to you and you start a
Yeah.
genuine conversation with them,
Yes.
you really, the truthfulness, the feeling of trustworthy,
Yes.
the feeling of trustworthy, she's really authentic, comes
Yeah.
out in the conversation. People will buy your book. They will genuine. And then that takes on a whole another arena because they'll buy it, they'll enjoy it. But you know, that genuineness that you're talking about, you know, that feeling, understanding your purpose. And I think you're getting there, if not there, about what you want to, what do you want? What, Susan, what is it that you actually want to happen with your books?
I want them to reach out to those that are going to be impacted in a very profound way and carry the message through, and also live in that, in those moments, not just a moment, but in those continuous moments of, you know, we are one. We are here and we are worthy. There is no putting a price tag on us. We are so much than the naked eye. We are so much than what people imagine. We are in great, oh my God, humanity, if we can only take time to really acknowledge ourselves and go inward, God, we are such exotic, beautiful people. We really are.
Yes.
We are wired up to solve our own problems, given the knowledge and the patience and the unconditional love to ourselves, because it starts with us, I believe.
Yeah.
And when we do that, when we start embracing who we are, because for a while, a very long time, I didn't really like who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't. It took me a long time to accept me, and even the ugly part of me, because, you know, we all have egos.
Yeah.
And the ego can be a good thing and the ego can be a bad thing. You know, you just got to find the balance. But there's still things about me that I'm working on that, you know, no, you know, you need to really zone in on that. And it's hard. It's hard when you're doing that mirror, you know, reflecting, mirroring, and you're looking and you're like, oh my God, I got so much flaws. And it's like one thing at a time. But I'm like the teacher and the student at the same time, if that makes sense. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you become the teacher and the student at the same time.
Yes.
What I do know from my creativity, with the words, with worthiness, you must, I don't care what's going on in your life and who you are and how many degrees you have or don't. Your heart, your mind, somewhere in this life's journey needs to come together, and they're not arguing anymore. They are one. And they're doing that approach of, okay, instead of me reacting right quickly, let me find out what's really going on. Let me find out what's really resonating with me, and why is it resonating with me this way or that way. Yeah. Now that's a profound moment. If one can get to that level, I think it would subside a lot of problems in society as well.
Absolutely.
When we're talking about love, I think love takes on many forms.
But I think you're right, but the love has to be with you first. God, yourself first.
Yeah.
And I think when you have an understanding of that, and I think even with your book Worthiness, it starts, you're starting with the basic, the young kids.
Yes.
And now you're moving to the next generation.
Yeah.
These two, if I didn't catch them here, now I can catch them here.
And it's still talking about Mother Earth. You know, worthiness is the magic of Mother Earth, where she tickles, you know, the feet of the fairies, and what she's actually doing is removing all the negativity out, you know, with her love. And some people, you know, call her Mother Gaia, you know. And I'm still talking about Earth because she's alive. She's alive. She provides us with so much.
I don't think people realize how connected we are, how connected we are to the Earth.
Yes.
You know, I said, I don't understand if people don't believe there's a creator, there's a God, there's, how can you see yourself and not believe that you are
part of something ginormous, yes. And
we're all connected. We're all connected.
Yes. And like I said, I am a woman of faith. I do have a connection, a relationship with God. And I will tell you, my faith, along with the divine family that I pray to, is helping me and has been helping me. So I give for all the thank yous to my divine family. And like I said, we are anything and everything that's living, plants, animals, trees, we're all connected. We are just all connected. It's one huge thread, and that thread contains depths of heartbeats that sustains our life, that beating path of life, and we shouldn't take it for granted. Right. We shouldn't. Absolutely. And it does happen, but if you can just put on the brakes sometimes and just look inward. Just look inward.
So we're getting pretty much to the end. We will show, I want to be able to show your little clip, your clip that you have. And I will definitely roll that into the program. And also, I want to know, is there anything that you would like to kind of passing word, something that you would like to leave with people knowing, or just something you would like to say to the viewing audience who may watch this video? What would you like to have them know about your book, about you, about life? What would be some lasting words that you would leave them with?
Well, I feel that what I'd like for people to know is that love does exist, and my books communicate that love in different levels, and that we are all one. And don't second guess yourself. And even if you do, it's okay. Bounce back. Be gentle, be kind, be loving to yourself, because there's only one of you. How beautiful are you? Show the world how beautiful you are. Everyone has gifts and talents. Communities, our people are waiting for those gifts and talents to be nurtured because it's only going to heal humanity. And you are worthy. No matter what, no matter what's going on in your life, know that whatever that is negative, it is temporary. There are more butterfly moments than there is those toxic moments, and that everything does pass, but you got to believe that you can do it. And I hope that my books reach out to people and make a difference in giving them that hope, and that, yeah, no matter how you look at it, we're all one. We're all one. Whether you believe it or not, we are one. And, you know, love is love. Love will not stop. Love knows no race, no age. It just is a continuation of abundance. And why shouldn't you reap those abundance?
Absolutely. Now, is there a website you want to leave? Is there a website people can reach you at?
Well, I have, they can, if they want to, they can order the book from Mascot Books. I also have my Facebook, which is Worthiness by Susan Drayton, and it's Dragons and Fairies 555. And I'm also on Instagram as well. So yeah, if they want to reach out, they can.
Okay. Now, are you doing any speaking engagement? I know it's hard with it, but do you have any book signings or speaking engagements coming up that you can tell people about?
Well, at this moment, that is what I'm working on. You are actually my first one so far, and I am working on arranging and organizing more platforms of speaking. Until this whole COVID situation gets situated, and let's see what happens. I have faith. Whatever is meant to be will be. It will find me and I will find it. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, Susan. This was
you.
Wonderful. This is wonderful. We will thank Susan, and we will have her Susan, send me a link to it and I'll put it on. I want to put it on as part of this interview. So send me that link again.
Okay.
To your small video, and I'll put it on. I'll put it on.
Okay.
And I want to link it to this as a conversation and showing, maybe I'll show it in the beginning and we can talk about it towards the end. But in any case, I will definitely put it on. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. I hope everything is going well for you. And I hope, you know, in New Bedford, I haven't gotten down there lately.
Yeah.
And I know, it's like.
I know. So, big changes are coming, though. Big changes are coming, you know, and I'm just figuring out, you know, what does this new path mean for me? So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure it all out, but my intuition just says, just keep on going with the creativity. The doors will open. So,
they will.
Yeah.
And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on and sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, I love you. Well, even the first time I met you, I'm like, this girl is for real. I love you. So much energy. Thank you. And I really appreciate it. And I love interviewing authors. And I'm like, I hope someday they be famous. I go, I knew I interviewed her first.
That's right. That's right. We'll always know and be in each other's lives. You know that. It doesn't end here. It doesn't end here. You're part of the purpose.
Hey, there we go. I love it.
You're investing in the vision. So how could you be gone? You're not. You're part of it. You're part of it. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, thank you. And we'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Bye.